Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing rational choice theory and Escanola's case. And rational choice theory essentially argues that people make decisions by weighing the costs and the benefits to maximize their personal gain. And under the school of criminology, so we're thinking about Cesar Beccaria, they see people as rational thinkers with free will. But when we apply this to Escanola, her actions seem more irrational because the costs outweigh the benefits. Now let's just say if she was under the influence of substance, then her ability to calculate the consequences, they may have been impaired in a way. If her behavior was driven by anger, frustration, or stress, then it also may reflect that and impulsivity, and not like a calculated decision making plan. And when we talk about her sentence, um when we're looking at classical principles, right? There's four things that we typically look for, and that's deterrence, proportionality, the certainty of the punishment, and clarity, basically. And so with deterrence, specifically general deterrence, a harsh sentence like 99 years, that sends a strong message to society. It says extreme child abuse will be severely punished. You will be punished severely. And that might discourage like similar crimes, and it ensures that she can't be able to reoffend again. Also emancipation laws, but most of that. And for the proportionality, basically you have to ensure that the punishment fits the crime. And so the abuse was extremely severe and it could have resulted in death. So the punishment fits the crime, no matter how large it is. Now some people may argue that 99 years is excessive, especially since the child survived and like factors like upbringing and substance abuse were present. But the brutality, the vulnerability of the victim, it justifies the long sentence that she received. And rational choice theory, it only partially explains her behavior because, again, the act seems to be impulsive and influenced by situational and psychological factors rather than a calculated decision. The 99-year sentence, it can be justified. It can be justified under classical principles. Again, I would say specifically the deterrence and the proportionality, given the severity of the harm. But the case, it shows the limitations of classical school, because classical school assumes that, you know, people act rationally, while real world crimes, they often involve people having impaired judgment, trauma, or substance abuse. And so basically my takeaways from this, the case shows that while classical theories help explain why we punish crime harshly, they don't always explain why crime happens in the first place. And human behavior isn't always rational. It isn't always rational. And that's what matters when we think about justice.